hear you. Can y'all hear us now? Let me get a thumbs up if y'all can hear us.
Damn, it's low.
Let me get a thumbs up if y'all can hear us.
Can y'all hear us now?
All right, Khan, all praises.
Let me get a thumbs up if y'all can hear us.
All right.
I was about to say it, man.
Yeah, Satan been hampering, man. Hold that. Also get Isaiah 33. All right. Verse 6. Continue. Mark with y'all.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me and said, Measure thou the times.
Measure thou the times. Go ahead.
Diligently in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
So the Lord, the Most High God, is the highest, is going to visit the world. The angel of the Lord is telling the prophet Ezra to measure the times, right? Someone hold that. Someone get Sirach 39 on one Bible shot. Yeah, you keep holding on what you got, because right now we see what's going on in the world. All right, you got coronavirus. You got the NBA don't shut down. All right. You got the NFL, the NHL, the MLB. March Madness is canceled. Italy's on quarantine. All right, these Chinese people are dying left and right. All right, because of this coronavirus, and the world is going crazy. Bring up that Isaiah 33, verse 6. Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. What is wisdom and knowledge? All right. The scriptures tell us that the law, statutes, and commandments is our wisdom in the sight of the nations, pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. So here it is. We are here in Babylon. All right. It seems like all hell's getting ready to break loose. All right. You got these stars getting popped, and Kobe Bryant and Pop Smoke. You got Floyd Mayweather's ex-wife. She just died. Right. You got all this stuff going on. All right. You got coronavirus. You got all this mayhem going on, but yet everyone's going crazy. All right. I just got out the grocery store, and the lines were a mile long. People were bugging out. Getting rations and food and whatnot. Everyone's going crazy, but the men of the Lord are being stable in these times, because we are keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability, which is our wisdom, our knowledge, and our understanding in the sight of the nations. So continue.
In strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
The fear of the Lord is his treasure, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. And the men of the Lord, the ones who go out on the highways and byways, all right, who are the ones who are actually feeding the sheep, all right, doing what our King Hamashiach Yahushua commanded us to do. All right, we fear the Lord. All right, we're the ones who fear the Lord, and we're stable in these times because we have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, now get Revelation 19.
Hey, real fast, I just want to look up that word, because I did a video on that verse earlier. When you go into the etymology of the word stability, it means state of being difficult to overthrow.
Wow.
So you got to be hard to be overthrown in these days, because Satan is gonna come right at everybody, especially those that are professing to be Israelite. He's the Most High is going to be testing you through Satan to see if you're really down with this. So you got to be firm. You got to be steadfast in the truth. If you're scared now, then when Jacob's trouble, when stuff really intensifies, then you're really going to be finished then. You see? But that's it I wanted to say.
No praises. But yeah, what did I call? Get Revelation 19 and 10.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren. They have the testimony of Yahushua.
They have the testimony of Yahushua.
Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
The spirit of prophecy, all right? Who has Sirach 39 and 1?
The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
He that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, all right, who's meditating, all right, Psalms 2, meditating on the laws of the Most High God that endure forever, all right, what is he going to do?
And is occupied in the meditation thereof.
Again, occupied in the meditation thereof, go ahead.
Will seek out the wisdom.
So seek out the wisdom, all right, again, the law is wisdom, so keeping the law is going to give you the wisdom to understand these prophecies, which is the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, continue.
Seek out all the wisdom of all the ancient.
Go ahead.
And be occupied in prophecies.
Be occupied in prophecies. So the men of the Lord who are keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability, the ones who are the same men who are going into the prophecies, all right, going into the scriptures, being able to break things down and to feed the sheep, to feed the rest of the people, all right? When you look at the book of 2nd Ezra, the angel of the Lord is giving Ezra crazy visions and crazy dreams, and he's telling him to give these things to men who are wise, right? When we come out to the highways and hedges, the people who hear the words that we're speaking in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, those are people who are wise, who the Lord is calling to come back to these law, statutes, commandments. Bring it out.
Just harping more on prophecy. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 39. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy, and forbid not to speak with tongues.
So covet. What is covetousness? Lusting. We should lust after being able to what? Bring that again.
1 Corinthians 14, 39. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy.
Covet. You should lust to prophesy. You should want to be a prophet. You should want to go on the highways and byways, all right, and teach your people and clearly show them what's going on in the scriptures, all right? And the only way you're going to be able to do that is with with wisdom and knowledge, which is going to be the stability that you're going to need in these perilous times. Because, again, all hell is getting ready to break loose. And we've been doing this for a short season, but our elders that came before us, they've been doing this thing for 20, 30, the truth has been out for 40 plus years. Right. And if you niggas don't get it yet, all right, you better get it now before the door closes on that window, that opportunity for repentance. Because we just looked, you just see what's going on social media. Like they're about to do quarantines and enact martial law, and that happens way off the streets. That's the famine of the word.
Right.
Yeah.
Just harping on the famine of the word. back in the ancient days, the prophets were barely heard, and I'm gonna read it. And I'm gonna read it pursuant this scripture. This 1 Samuel 3:1. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. See, so in those times, the word of the Lord was precious in that day. Yeah. The word of the Most High isn't precious now. If it was, we would have large crowds of people trying to hear the Most High, and there was no open vision. I mean, there was no open prophesying like how it is today. Because there's a bunch of brothers prophesying almost every day.
Yep.
By the internet and also on the streets too. So when Jacob's trouble hit, the word of the Lord is gonna be precious, real precious. Amazon, the 1611 Bible might cost $200.
Yeah.
That may cost $200.
This bad boy right here is already $135, right? So imagine when all hell breaking loose, you have hyperinflation. All right, it's going to be just like the movie Book of Eli. Everyone's trying to get their hand on Eli's Bible.
Yep.
Trying to get their hands on the word, right? But what you holding?
I brought it out already. Revelations.
All right, Con. Go back to 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter.
And shalom to all the Akim.
Con, shalom to all the Akim, all the elders. All right. Y'all Bashem Yahweh Barak Thumb. Go ahead.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 3.
Start from the top.
Verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
See, the Lord right now is visiting the world in which he made, all right? We see what? We see plagues, coronavirus, all right? There's only been like about 3,000 people died, but they're hyping this thing up, right? People die from the flu. 14,000 people in America die from the flu each year. 14,000. All right, so you got all types of plagues going on, right? Continue.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes,
Go ahead.
and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou will understand that the Most High spoke of these things.
The Most High spoke of these things. So check this, right? One thing, earthquakes, right? And Yahushua said the same thing. Someone get Matthew 24 about the shot. All right? So this is an app I got right here. It's called Last Quake, right? It lets you know whenever an earthquake happens. So 7 hours ago, there was a 5.3 off the coast of Japan. There was a 4.6 in Iceland 13 hours ago. 16 hours ago. Java, Indonesia, 5.1. 3.2 in Turkey. 4.8 in Eastern Kamacha. 4.4 in Romania. 2.5 in southern Greece. 3.7 in Javan. 2.6 in Greece yesterday. Mexico, 4.3. 3.1 in New York. 4.2 in southern Iran. And the list just goes on and on every single day. Every hour on the hour, there's an earthquake going on. All right? They said in Italy, they shut down. They issued a state of emergency. They issued a quarantine. And literally right after they did that, an earthquake happened. And it caused people to run out into the streets. Further doing what? Spreading the virus. Creating more of a surface area for the disease to be spread. So the Most High is visiting this place, right? And he told us what those signs would be. That's why we have to measure the time and see that we are undoubtedly in the last days. All right, you got a precept?
Hey, speaking about Italy, like 2,000 or 1,000 people supposedly died in Italy because of the virus.
Really? That's crazy.
2 stacks, bro.
That's wild. And then you see Tom Hanks got the damn coronavirus, him and his wife, Donovan Mitchell, and Rudy Gobert. All right, I thought niggas couldn't get it. I still hear niggas talk about, all you gotta do is keep the laws and have this Negro. I heard a nigga say, all you gotta do is keep the laws and have this Negro blood in you.
Yeah, that makes 0 sense.
Makes 0 sense. All right, it makes absolutely 0 sense. Anyone can get this thing. All right, but the scriptures say that the angels of the Lord encamp around on those that fear Him. All right. So if you fear the Lord, what are you doing? You're keeping the law, statutes, commandments, right? And you're doing what He told you to do. By, of course, going out to the highways and hedges, feeding the sheep. So the men of the Lord, we are stable in these times because we're not afraid of the coronavirus. All right. But
I appreciate
go ahead, bring it out.
Oh, the book.
You wanted it still, or you would be past it?
What's that?
27, Matthew 24:7.
Yeah, hold on to that. What you got?
The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and receive none of her plagues."
Yeah, so that's going into us being, Lord willing, when we get beamed up on those chariots. But just even in preparation for that, we got to take our minds outside of Babylon. We got, scripture say, be ye separate. All right, don't be a friend of the world. We got to be ready and prepared for all the woes and the sorrows and the troubles that's getting ready to come, because this is going to be a time in which there's never been on the face of the earth.
Hey, real fast, you got Good Joe Maroon on the comment where it says, they've been reporting that no black people have died. Now, we're not saying that any black people would die. We're saying that they can still get the virus.
Yeah.
People saying that we can't get the virus, but you can get the virus.
Absolutely.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, we haven't seen any melanated individual, so-called black person die yet, but hey, niggas are getting it though.
God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop it. You already did.
Yeah. Go
Bring it up.
Yeah, bring it up.
God, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7.
Actually, start at verse. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, start at verse 3.
Verse 3. God. Verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming?"
Go ahead. What shall be the sign of his coming? Because ultimately, with all this chaos going on, what is it going to end in? It's going to end in the second coming of who the world ignored. He calls Jesus Christ. Hamashiach Yahushua, all right, and the deliverance, the salvation of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child, all right, and the rest of our brothers and sisters scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So, what are going to be some of the signs of the coming of Hamashiach Yahushua? Go ahead.
And of the end of the world.
And the end of the world. That word in the Greek is eon, the end of the age. All right, we're coming up on the end of the age where the so-called white man, Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of, gets to reign freely in the earth. Gets to go around raping, robbing, pillaging, creating things like the coronavirus, creating things like HIV, all right, doing the Tuskegee experiments, all right, messing with the weather, all right, drilling into the earth, causing all these earthquakes, all right. It's no coincidence. And some of these signs are some of the effects of Esau's reign on the earth. All right. The scriptures say that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Roughly paraphrasing. So we're coming up to the point in time where that eon, that age, is getting ready to come crumbling down. Go ahead.
Hey, so you know what's so crazy? How America's going out is the same is similar to how ancient Rome went out. Because how did the western half of the Roman Empire get taken down? Jake started rising up into power. Just like now, Jake is being lawyers, doctors, starting their own businesses, and then plagues as well. The Roman Empire was getting plagued with all types of diseases. So was America.
Yep.
So this is how we know that America is the Roman Empire 2.0.
Yep.
Reincarnation.
And when you go into Revelation, the 13th and 14th chapter, it says that there was another beast that arose. That other beast is Babylon the Great, America. All right? And the first beast was Rome. And what did he do? He made an image to the first beast. So what America does is it upholds Roman ideals.
Yep.
It upholds Roman ideals. That's why our political system is fashioned after the Roman Empire, after their Senate and their democracy. All right, you see, Latin names used in science, and in law.
Roman numerals.
All right, yeah, and Roman numerals. Right, you look downtown Philadelphia at City Hall. It looks just like a Roman structure.
Yeah.
All right, so America gives homage and praise and makes everyone worship the beast, all right, through their ideologies and through white supremacy, right? But it says that the next beast is the one who's going to implement the mark, so forth and so forth. So again, America's just modeled after Rome, but it's another beast, a completely different beast.
Because what it say? Because it says the dragon gave that beast power.
Yes.
And what's that red dragon? The ancient Roman Empire.
Yep, that's right.
You going?
Keep going.
Time. It's verse 2. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? And of the end of the world.
End of the eon, the age. Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many.
There's a lot of niggas on the internet talking about they're Yahushua. All right, what's that nigga's name? Yah Judah. I had a nigga on my IG the other day talking about he's the anointed Messiah and whatnot. I'm like,
shoot, at camp too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That demon that be coming up to camp. Like we see all this going on. So go ahead, continue.
And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
Wars and rumors of wars. There's wars happening right now. There's a rumor that World War III is getting ready to pop off. All right, and we can see the things that are leading up to it. The same things that led up to the first woe and the second woe, which is World War I and II. All right, those same things that were in place, those entanglement of alliances. All right, the assassination of this leader and whatnot. What happened at the top of the year? Donald Trump called for the assassination of an Iranian official. All right, and who's Iran in bed with? Russia, China, India, Pakistan, all these different nations. So we see this entanglement of alliances. All these things that have the chessboard set for America to get into checkmate, right? And World War III to pop off. Continue.
See ye that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
These must happen. All right, go ahead.
But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation.
Nation shall rise against nation. Ethnos shall rise against ethnos. Ethnicity against ethnicity. Race wars. We see racial tension here in America at a ultimate height since the civil rights movement. Continue.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Kingdom against kingdom. Russia versus America. Iran versus America. Iran versus the state of Israel. So forth and so forth. Go ahead.
And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
Famine, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. Hold that. Go back to Second Ezra, because Yahushua is literally giving the same prophecy that Ezra was given. The same exact thing, but I thought that the Apocrypha was divinely inspired. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes.
Earthquakes. Did not Yahushua just say that? Go ahead.
And uproars of the people.
And uproars of the people. You look in Chile, all right, Haiti, Hong Kong. They were just having, right before the coronavirus became a thing, the Chinese people in China, mainland China, were protesting. There were uproars.
You don't even hear about that no more.
And you don't even hear about these uproars. Why? Corona. You see? Let's read that again.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Uproars of the people of the world. You see this in France. You see this all over the world. I think it was a few months ago, right before 2020, there was like 13 different cases of civil unrest throughout the world, where people, the lower class, is getting sick and tired of the same old BS, the same old nonsense. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Then shalt thou will understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee,
Go ahead.
even from the beginning.
Even from the beginning. The scriptures say the Most High declares the end from the beginning.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end.
A beginning and an end. So this world, this age that we're living in, had a beginning, and it's getting ready to come to an end. All right. Each empire has a beginning and an end. Rome rose and it fell. Babylon rose and it fell. All right. The Medo-Persian Empire rose and it fell. The same thing with America. It rose in 1716 and it's going to come crumbling down very, very soon. Go ahead.
For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonders, and powerful works, and the endings in effects and signs.
Yeah, we see these signs being displayed today. Yeah, bring it up.
God, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time.
The day of doom. What's that day of doom? When those thermonuclear missiles come, all right, courtesy of Vladimir Putin and President Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un and so forth and so forth. All right, when all of America's allies and all the nations that are gathered around against her are going to shoot their arrows. They're going to empty the entire clip. All right, continue.
God says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for it to come.
The beginning of the immortality that is to come. Go ahead.
Wherein corruption is past.
Wherein corruption is past. So what's going to happen? In that day, when the Most High God says, all right, enough is enough. America has to, and Babylon the Great has to pay for her sins. All right. He's going to use his angels to put the spirit on these leaders to shoot their nuclear arsenal at America. All right. The 1/3 of our people who hearkened, all right, to the voice of the Lord. All right. Who feared the Lord. Who had their faiths in their works. Right. Those people are going to be beamed up on what you will call UFOs, unidentified flying objects, the chariots of the Lord. And our bodies are going to be changed. Because the scriptures say that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom. Can you get that for me in what's that, 1 Thessalonians?
What, 5th chapter?
Yeah, bring it out.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty.
Proud and lofty. And isn't America the most proud and lofty nation? Right. All right? Isn't Donald Trump talking all this big, tough this big stuff about make America great again, right? America is very proud and lofty. All right, you got LGBT pride, all right? You got all this pride going on here in America, right? Read that again.
Time. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty,
Everyone that is proud and lofty. Go ahead.
and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
And he shall be brought low. America is right now is the top nation in the earth, the premier superpower in the earth, and America is going to be brought low. All right.
Which one?
Where it says that in the twinkling of an eye.
Oh, he got it.
Yeah, bring
First
that up.
Corinthians.
Start at 50. Oh, well, twinkling now is 52.
You go, yeah. You go a couple verses. Yeah, go from the context.
50. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
See, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Right now, we are in these chains of darkness, this flesh and this blood. Go ahead.
Neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption.
See, we right now have corruptible fleshly bodies, all right, that's subject to decay, all right, pain, aches, things of that sort, all right. We have corruptible flesh, but we cannot inherit the incorruptible, which is that crown of life, all right, which we'll receive in the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
Verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
We shall all be changed. Go ahead.
In a moment.
In a moment.
In the twinkling of an eye. At the last trump.
At the last trump, because the last trump is salvation. Sixth trump. Right now we're between the fifth and the sixth trumpet. Go ahead.
For the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be risen.
The dead in Hamashiach, all right, the dead of us, like, you know, say a brother like Aban Lawyer, who was in the truth doing the work, all right, died in Hamashiach. Elder Bivens, all right, brothers like this who passed on, who transitioned, who are now at rest, they're gonna rise. Go ahead.
Shall be changed. And for this corruptible must put on the incorruptible.
Our flesh, we have to put on incorruptible, go ahead, because we're gonna be changed. Go ahead.
And this mortal must put on the immortal. Verse 54. So when the corruptible shall have put on the incorruptible, and this mortal shall have put on the immortal, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Yeah, that's what on that. All right. What you holding?
This is elaborating more off death. The ones getting beheaded, and he's going to be changed and given crowns of life.
Go ahead, bring it up.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for Mashiach for 1,000 years.
See, and that's what we gotta look forward to. That's what we gotta keep in mind, all right? Because we're entering into a time like there's never been before. Get Daniel 12, about the shot.
I got this little article too.
What's it going into?
How these stores is completely empty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bring that out.
Right now.
Yeah, bring that out.
So this is an article from LehighValleyLive.com. Coronavirus panic buying leading to empty shelves. Long lines at Lehigh Valley stores. And you know the prophecies, what that's going into. 2 Numbers 15.
Yep.
About that famine.
Yep.
Alright, it says shoppers planning to visit a Lehigh Valley supermarket. Matter of fact, remember the video I sent to y'all about the long line outside in the parking lot with shoppers with their shopping cart and the long ass lines, man. It says shoppers planning to visit the Lehigh Valley supermarket or big box retailer this weekend should prepare for long lines and empty shelves on cleaning supplies, disinfectants, and most pantry staples. Hand sanitizers and anti-bacterial wipes also will be slim pickings, which if you go on Amazon right now, if you look at Lysol wipes, it will say it's currently unavailable. I looked at it last night.
Right, I was just in the grocery store, and shelves are bare right now. Like, Shelves are bare right now when it comes to perishable items, like I said, cleaning supplies. All right, there's no water. All right, I was just talking to my lady. She grabbed as much water as she could get because there was almost no water left. All right, and what's gonna happen? All right, in all these big ass WalMarts and these big grocery stores. All right, with the coronavirus and this outbreak, FEMA camps.
Yeah.
All of these things is just a domino effect, a snowball effect of the perils that are going to come. Bring out that Daniel 12.
There's some more in this too.
Yeah. Bring that out and then go into that.
God. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 from the top. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people.
Mm-hmm.
And there shall be a time of trouble.
A time of trouble.
Such as never was since there was a nation.
Since there wasn't this time of trouble that we're getting ready to enter into, all right, it's going to be worse than slavery, all right. It's going to be worse than the so-called Holocaust. It's going to be worse than World War I, II, all right. Worse than the Black Plague. It's going to be bad. Read that again.
God. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Uh-huh.
And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation.
Uh-huh.
Even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Written in the book. Get Jeremiah 30 and 7.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7.
Actually, start at verse 5.
Verse 5. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace.
And you hear people right now just talking about how afraid they are, all right? Everyone is going crazy right now. We hear a voice of trembling and fear right now. Go ahead.
Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child.
See, it's going to be so bad that the toughest niggas on the block, the toughest goons, all right, they're going to be crying like little girls, like women giving birth. Go ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
All faces are turned into paleness. Everyone is just sick. They're afraid. They're ashamed. Go ahead.
Alas, for that day is great,
so
that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It's even the time of Jacob's trouble. That's trouble. That time of trouble where that's going to be worse than any time in history. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But he shall be saved out of it. It don't say that everyone's going to be saved out of it. It says that Jacob's going to be saved out of it. Right? The children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the rest of our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're the ones that are going to receive that salvation. All right? Hold that. Yeah, go back into that article.
All right, Con. And back to what I was saying. I was in ShopRite earlier, too, in the morning time. And it's packed. See how me and my family shop. We shop on Amazon Fresh. We shop online. Everything I was trying to get was gone.
Yeah,
everything. But it says several stores are limiting the amount of in-demand items customers are allowed to buy as folks stockpile supplies. Oh yeah, you know what that's going to start causing inflation and fighting.
Yep.
And not just any inflation, hyperinflation. See, all this stuff that we've been saying for a while now,
it's starting to happen.
It's starting to happen.
Yep. and you know what's so crazy? You saw the brother said the video. All right, there's a sister who's a trucker, and she's showing the port. And she said normally the cans.
God, I seen that one. Con. She said like a building.
Yeah, she said the cans where they have all the different goods. You know what I mean? God. Like Costco, BJ's, ShopRite, or whatnot. These cans are usually stacked up as high as buildings, like tall buildings. And she's showing you around the port. There's like one truck coming in and out. The cans are only like 2 cans high. There's nothing going on. Why? Because a lot of traders are getting halted. The stock market's been crashing every goddamn day. It took the biggest dip it's ever taken in history.
Yes.
So what's that going to cause? Economic downturn. All right. There's going to be famine. All right. What are they going to do to try to remediate that? Implement that mark. We are literally we're first in inches. We are in the fourth quarter, 2-minute warning, first and goal. All right. We just got to punch it in. We got to stick it out. All right, go ahead.
And it says several stores are limiting the amount of in-demand items customers are allowed to buy as folks stockpile supplies amid the spread of the new coronavirus. Coronavirus. At Wegmans, customers are being limited to 4 1-gallon jugs per order of water, or 3 per order of hand sanitizer and hydrogen peroxide. The same goes with 1 per order of disinfectant wipes, and 1 per order of bath tissue. One per order of bath tissue. You Babylonians are finished.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Small pieces when you wipe.
Exactly. Only a sip per hour of water.
And you got all these fat people in America. They need a lot of toilet tissue. And you got all these chicks with their little fake butts. They gonna need a lot. Listen. Go ahead.
It says at ShopRite, which I just mentioned ShopRite, I was there earlier. Shoppers can buy up to 4 disinfectant sprays, fever-reducing medicines. Oh, well, if you don't know how to use the herbs, tough for you.
Yep.
It says gloves, mask, bleach, soap, bottled water, or household cleaning wipes. Public health officials have generally been recommending against stockpiling items. All right, it says David Damsker, director of the Bucks County Health Department, told the Philadelphia Inquirer folks should buy the things they normally buy because otherwise it causes a domino effect that then leads to more stockpiling. By Thursday afternoon at Lehigh Valley supermarkets, it was clear many wasn't heeding that message. Lines at 3 p.m. at ShopRite along Freemansburg Avenue and Bethlehem Township were mobbed at cash registers. See? Just like another Black Friday, but 10 times worse. You know Black Friday.
Yeah. Bro, I literally was just in the grocery store, and I was in line for about close to an hour. Close to an hour I was in a line, all right? And you got people who got shopping carts filled up with a bunch of stuff, right? And me, I'm over here just trying to get, because we just got back from Passaic. I ain't got no groceries in the crib, so I need something to eat. So what I'm getting? I'm getting canned goods, all right? I'm getting fruits and vegetables that are non-perishable, all right? Because if they implement this quarantine and you can't leave your house, niggas is gonna be sick, right? But you just see what's all the madness that's going on. That people are just going crazy, all right? These are the things that the men of the Lord have been saying is gonna happen for so long, and it's finally here.
I got a precept on the point.
Gosh, go ahead, bring it out.
This also goes along with the both of the points you guys just brought out, because say for instance, if you live on a block and you see your neighbors with non-perishable goods and you don't have it, it's going to cause you a survival technique or a survival mode to kick in, where though you don't even care about your neighbor's well-being, you want to know what he got, right? So this is Matthew, still in Matthew 24. We're going to drop down to verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, and the love for many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So it's going to be people who the love wax for each other is going to just disappear, and they're going to try to kill and trample each other for these goods. But he that endured through all this, which is the men of the Lord out here pushing this truth, doing his work, is going to be saved.
It's 2 Ezra 15 to 15.
Started 15.
Yeah, yeah. Just on this point. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and their
verse 14. It's a lot.
Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Destruction to the world and to them that dwell therein. Go ahead.
Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another. And swords in their hands.
With swords in their hand. Well, niggas not running around with katanas, all right? They gonna be coming down with them things, all right? With them blickies, as they like to say, right? Them yappas. Go ahead.
Glizzy.
Yeah.
Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men.
Sedition. Let's look at the word sedition. Let's see what sedition means, right? There's gonna be sedition amongst men, all right? There will be sedition amongst men. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. It's going to be all-out chaos, all right? Which is going to further incentivize the powers that be to enact martial law, to keep the peace, so to speak, right? Go ahead.
For there shall be sedition among men
Uh-huh.
and invading one another.
And invading one another. Because you see your neighbor, he got all the supplies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't got it, right? People gonna be invading one another, rifling each other's houses. Go ahead.
Shall not regard their kings, neither prince,
Uh-huh.
and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Uh-huh.
Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And not be able. All right. You see it happening in Italy right now. All right. All right. There's rumors going on. All right, from people who have family members who work in the Pentagon and work in government. All right. A lot of people think that the United States government is going to issue a quarantine tomorrow. They're going to enact martial law. You're not going to be able to leave your house. You're not going to be able to go from one city to another city. All right. All this prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago. Go ahead.
Hey, well, the brother in the camp, he tried to go home. What is it? When he tried to go home? When we go to camp Saturday, Mabatak, he couldn't.
Yeah.
He was trying to go from a next city, and he wasn't able to.
Yeah.
My woman, she's supposed to be coming down, but they might shut down Houston soon, so she might not be able to. See?
It's crazy out in these streets.
Oh, but Kemet is the way, brother.
Yeah. The
Right.
Bible is fake. Madness. Go ahead.
Verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled.
Uh-huh.
The houses shall be destroyed.
Houses shall be destroyed because it's going to be sedition amongst men. People going to be running up in people's cribs. It's literally going to be... You ever watch The Walking Dead? You watch The Road? What was going on? Road is a great movie. Spiritual. All right? You see all this hell going on. These Why do you think they got all these post-apocalyptic movies and shows out right now? Because Esau knows what's up. They know what's going on. All right? They know. They've been thinking they've been planning these things. The Lord's just been using them. All right? But they've been planning all this stuff for decades now. Go ahead.
The houses shall be destroyed,
Uh-huh.
and men shall be afraid.
Uh-huh.
Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword,
Uh-huh.
and spoil their goods
And spoil their goods. Go ahead.
because of the lack of bread.
Because of the lack of bread. Famine. And that wasn't that not one of the signs that Yahweh Shai said would happen? That Ezra said would happen? Go ahead.
For the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Verse 20.
That's it on that. All right. You see? So, again, what is going to be the stability of these times that we're in? Wisdom and knowledge. What you got right out?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat.
My servants shall eat. All right. The men of the Lord are going to eat. All right. Esau been stacking up. All right, ammunition and medical supplies and food supplies, making these bug out bags. All right, for years now. Right. But what does the scripture say? All right, ill-gotten gains. It's in Sirach.
Sirach 10.
Yeah, get that Bible.
Sirach 10 and 8.
I got to present right off of that precept.
Bring that out.
The book of Sirach 10 and 8.
Yeah.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And now, seeing, we all mourn.
Sirach 10. Talking about an unjust, right?
Yeah.
Where's it in Sirach? Oh, you in second Ezra, bro.
Oh,
I knew it's Sirach.
Yeah, it's definitely Sirach.
10 and 8.
Yeah.
10 and 8, because, okay, so like it.
Yeah, bring that out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8.
Because
of unrighteous dealings.
Because of unrighteous dealings. So Esau has been able, all right, to be in a position where he can stockpile on all these things. Why? Because of unrighteous dealings. His ancestors came over here, all right, beguiled the Native Americans, raped, robbed, stole their land, all right, brought us over here, made us build this country up. He's able to do these things because of ill-gotten gains. Go ahead.
Because of unrighteous dealings.
Unrighteous dealings. Go ahead.
And injures and riches got by deceit.
Riches gotten by deceit. All right. The so-called white man has gotten everything that he has by deceit. All right. It said his words were smoother than oil, but and his heart was drawing swords. Go ahead.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
The kingdom, rulership, dominion is going to be translated from one people to another, from Esau to Jacob. You see, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. All right,
there.
Yeah, we bring that out.
The second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answer I, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
The parting asunder of the times. Did not the disciples ask Yahushua when's going to be the signs of the coming of his coming? Mm-hmm. What's going to be the parting asunder of the times? Go ahead.
And when shall be the end of the first? And the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
The so-called white man, Esau, he is the end of the age, end of the eon, end of the world. Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the bottom. All right. The Yahushua said what? The first shall be last. Right. The bottom, the underdogs. All right. The nation not desired. All right. They have what? They have next. Go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
You see that? We'll bring out your piece up.
Job 5:19 says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
I'll deliver thee in 6 troubles.
Yea, in the 7th there shall no evil touch thee.
You see?
And famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
You see, because the men of the Lord are going to be good in that day. All right, when the prophet Elijah was running for his life, because the wicked ass kings of Israel wanted to kill him. All right, and he thinks he's the only one. All right, doing the will of the Lord. All right, he's on the run. All right, he's hungry. He's in the wilderness. What happens? The Lord sends, what was it, ravens? Sends ravens to bring him bread, to bring him food. So we gotta have the faith. We gotta have faith like that. That the angels of the Lord are gonna take care of the men of the Lord. The scripture said that his servants are going to eat.
Finish that up.
Yeah, bring that up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat.
My servant shall eat. Go ahead.
But ye shall be hungry.
But ye, you wicked ones who don't want to serve Yahweh, the ones who want to party and BS, all right, who want to turn up. Jake, you got the coronavirus going on. Jake over here trying to book $12 flights to goddamn Dominican Republic and whatnot, right? Trying to have a good old time because Jake think everything's a goddamn joke, all right? I think it was the Root. The Root had an article on how to travel and be corona free and just all this type of madness. Because niggas are nothing but jokes. All you niggas that didn't want to listen or to the men of the Lord, all you niggas that walked by and scoffed and laughed and said we look like Power Rangers and XYZ, all right, and gave us the middle finger and all right, you're not going to eat in that day. You're going to be sorrowful. Go ahead.
Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
You see, and you already see that happening right now. Niggas are going crazy, all right? They're scared out of their minds, all right? Meanwhile, the people, the brothers and sisters in the truth, who knew this was happening, we like, yes, all praises. Bring it on. Like, we can't wait to get out of America. All right? We know that we got to go through the fire, all right? And Lord willing, the Most High will keep His Spirit with us, and we have the ability to endure through this trouble, right? But again, it says that the men of the Lord are going to rejoice. We rejoice when we see these prophecies popping off, all right? Jake's going crazy, all right? Wicked ass Esau and Ishmael and Moab, they're going crazy. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart. And shall howl for vexation of spirit.
You see? People are howling. They're howling because they're vexed at what's going on. All right? What you got?
I got Second Esdras 9 and starting verse 5.
Satan. I'll be right back.
I thought he was about to pop off. You heard me?
This ain't martial law.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Hey, Salakia, man, Satan.
Yeah, he about to know it.
Real talk. Yeah, but while he's down there, I'm gonna pull out a precept. This is Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 26, because the Lord is about to remove the principal things that men need to actually survive on in the earth. This is brother talking about some brother got special effects going on.
No, man. Who was that? No, that's Satan. That's Satan, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in here chilling yesterday and that joint went off. Like the fire alarm just been acting stupid.
Wait, let me bring this Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned to evil. So the Lord is about to remove all of that. Things that are essential for men to live on the planet Earth, God is about to take that from the earth. But I thought God loved people. But I thought, is that a loving God that would just take things that you need to survive on the planet Earth? Would a loving God do that? No, that's called a balanced God right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He loves who he loves and hates who he hates. What you got?
Second Esdras 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
So I know, I thought it was of faith alone, through grace alone, through Christ alone. All right, that's what I thought. All right, I thought all you gotta do is just believe on sweet Jesus, and everything will be all right. And you be, I thought I was saved by the blood. No, but the Bible says what? Saved by the what?
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
By his works. Don't. It says works first. By his works.
And by faith.
And by faith. Right? Faith is a work. Right? Faith is a work. The scripture says without faith it's impossible to please him. So by his works and his faith shall those escape from the perils.
Appreciate it.
Put it out.
Revelations chapter 22 verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed are they, are the people, the individuals that do what?
That do his commandments.
That do them. Not just say that they do them, but actually do them. Go ahead.
That do his commandments. That they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the cities. Verse 15. For without are dogs and scorners. And whoremongers. So you over here trying to hit all these chicks, all right, popping other man's woman. You're a whoremonger. Go ahead. And murderers.
All right.
And idolaters.
So you in the church worshiping sweet white Jesus. All right. Doing 6 Hail Marys. All right. You're an idolater. Go ahead.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And who loves lies more than the so-called white man? All right. And forget the so-called white man. The scripture said that our people have made lies their refuge. All right. Our people love to make lies. Right. So if you don't get down with this, with this truth, all right, if you don't repent, come back to the law, statutes, commandments, you're going to be without. All right. You're not going to be saved from the perils that are coming. You got a precept?
Yep, cause look, man, all this really boils down in trusting in the Most High. Okay, having that faith in Yahweh Yahushai. How do you think Peter got delivered out of prison twice? How do you think Daniel and the 3 brothers got delivered out of the fiery furnace? Read in the Apocrypha the Song of the Three Holy Children.
Mm-hmm.
Read about Daniel being thrown in the lion's den.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Read about when King Nebuchadnezzar was trying to get Daniel to eat eat that food. No, not eat the food, to worship the idol Bel.
Yeah.
Okay. And he just knew for sure the Lord was going to deliver him. We got to be sure.
Yeah.
Right? So this is Psalms 34, and this is for verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
The righteous cry, and Yahweh heareth,
Mm-hmm.
and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Okay, so you gotta have that faith in the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Bro said that the sound cut off.
Let me get a 1 if the sound is all right.
I don't know, bro. It's probably your phone.
Yeah, it's your phone.
Okay. What's on? It's Second Ezra's.
Right.
He was crowned.
Right.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 2, verse 40.
Uh-huh.
Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thy that are clothed in white,
Mm-hmm.
which have fulfilled the law.
Have fulfilled the what?
The law.
The law. I thought the law was done away with.
Right.
Go ahead.
The law of Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
Verse 41. The number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Beseech the power of Yahweh, that thou people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed.
Call from the beginning. Thy people call from the beginning. Predestination. All right. You gotta. If you are of the 144,000, if you are of the 1/3 that's going to be delivered out of America, all right, you were called to be that from the beginning. All right, we are just a bunch. We are just actors. All right, in the Most High's play. The script is already written. All right, the script is already written. All these other nations, they're the extras. All right, but Israel, we're the main characters. All right, go ahead.
Verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh with songs. Verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature.
A young man, go ahead.
Taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns.
He set crowns. Get Revelation 2. You stay there. Revelation 2:25.
God. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Him will I give power over the nations. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
You see? So this is the same guy. The same guy, Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Christ. Continue.
Taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns. And was more exalted. Which I marvel at greatly. Verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? Verse 45. He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal clothing, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and received palms. Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? Verse 47. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh.
The Son of Yahweh, go ahead.
Whom they have confessed in the world.
They have confessed him. So what? You said, so the scripture said that they confess the name of the Lord, Yahweh, all right, and they confess the Son.
Right.
So that means we gotta have what? The names. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, all right? Not Ahiah and Yeshaya and Yahuwah, Yahusha, none of that nonsense, all right? Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. We got to confess these names in the world, all right? Go up to Revelation 2 and 10, because he said what? He was giving them what? Crowns, right?
2 and 10? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Let's see what these men have to go through to get those crowns. Go ahead.
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Uh-huh.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
The devil shall cast some of you into prison. All right. Who's going to be the one casting brothers into prison? Esau, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, go ahead.
That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
Uh-huh.
Be thou faithful unto death.
Be faithful unto death. All right. Niggas, they talking about, oh, take this chip. You better be faithful unto death. Mm-hmm. All right. Because you take that chip, that is your ass. All right? Be faithful unto death. Some of us are going to die in this thing. All right? Some of us are going to see the fall of our enemies. Right. But we got to be faithful even unto death. God. All right? Go ahead.
And I will give thee a crown of life.
And I will give thee a crown of life. Yahushua said, he that will gain his life shall lose it. Right. Right? And he that shall lose it shall gain his life. Go ahead.
You want more than the next
that's it. Keep going.
I'm going to start from 47 again. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I to commend them that stood so stiffly.
Stood so stiffly. Go ahead.
Stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh. Verse 48. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things, and how great wonders Yahweh thy power has shown.
Yeah, that's on that. What you got?
This is the book of James, chapter 5, starting verse 7. It says, Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
The coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Go to James 1:12.
I'm already in this book.
Yeah.
This is James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
That endureth temptation. Because that hour of temptation is coming, brothers. All right, and sisters. That hour of temptation is coming. You're going to get the chip, or you're going to get this chip or what? And you're going to be tempted. But blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Go ahead.
For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
Shall receive the crown of life.
Which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
And what's loving the Lord? Let me get 1 John 5. What's loving the Lord?
I got a precept after that too.
Come.
1 John 5?
Yeah, 5 and 2.
Oh my God.
You got it? Bring it up.
The book of 1 John chapter 5 verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God. When we love God and keep his commandments.
Love God and keep his commandments. Go ahead.
Verse 3. For this is the love of God.
This is the love of God. It just said what? It said, Blessed is he that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. What did Yahushua say in John 14? If you love me, do what? Keep my commandments. Go ahead.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments.
And his commandments are not grievous.
They're not grievous. It's not a hard thing to keep the commandments of the Lord. All right, we gotta be diligent. We gotta do our damnness. All right, we gotta. Scripture say flee sin. All right, as if that's all. What was it? A viper?
A serpent.
A serpent. Roughly paraphrasing.
Sirach 21.
I'll bring out your precept. You had a precept?
I had one. And there's a reward for standing so stiffly in Revelation 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
That's beautiful through the Spirit. You see? So we got to be patient. All right? We can't be too rash, too hasty in our decisions. All right? You see people going crazy, all right? You got to be stable in these last days. And you're only going to be stable through wisdom. What's our wisdom? These laws, these statutes, and commandments. Staying in the scripture, staying in the faith, being around like-minded brothers and sisters, all right, that's going to encourage you to continue in the faith, all right?
Like wisdom dealing with the whole Bible, really. Because Yahushua said, what? I come in the volume of the book.
That's right.
So from the law to the history, even when you read history, it builds your faith up. So that's why Romans says this is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. See, so all the things that have been written before of the times, that Romans and Acts or whatever was written, they were written for our learning. Like the brother brought out Elijah. Okay, you got Abraham, you got Daniel, you got our father Jacob. We need to read the history, read how they endured certain temptations, so that we can build our spirit up. Okay, because ain't no telling we gonna be in Jacob's trouble, in the wilderness, highlighting certain precepts and whatnot. Man, you gotta do it now, man. Doomsday prepping. This is doomsday prepping right now.
That's right.
Spiritually doomsday prep in this Bible. Okay, that's what we should be doing. This is the doomsday prepping. Esau can have go to Home Depot and spend $500-$600 on a home for when all hell break loose. But this our doomsday prep spiritually, the Bible.
Multiple precepts.
Yeah, what scripture did you read before you brought out this precept? Bring it out again.
Before then?
Yeah.
We was in second Ezra, I think, weren't you?
1 John.
Oh, keep the commandments.
Oh yeah, no, drop it. Go ahead, bring out your precept.
This book Isaiah 5:55 and 6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found.
Seek Yahweh while he may be found. All right. Listen, this famine of the word can happen any minute. All right. So if you're under the sound of my voice and you haven't come into the understanding of who you are as an Israelite, coming to the knowledge that you have to keep the commandments, that's one of your duties as a man or a woman. All right, that you got to have the faith. All right, you better seek Yahweh while he can be found. All right, go ahead.
And call upon him while he is near. Verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way.
The wicked forsake his way. So if you out here smoking blunts, all right, hitting licks, all right, hitting another man's woman, all right, doing all types of madness, being a homosexual, doing whatever that's wicked, forsake your way. Go ahead.
The wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly preserve.
Bring out the other one.
It's the book of Proverbs, and this goes back to what the brother said about don't wait till it's too late before you trying to be in the wilderness marking precepts. Do it right now. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. So we the ones that's out here trying to push this word. We the wise counsel. So when you hear it, you like, all right, I need to get on my job right now. Increase your learning now, because it's gonna be a time where we're not around.
Bring out Sirach 5.
Sirach 5.
Bring that out. All right, because niggas always want to make excuses. Always want to put off from day to day. All right.
What verse you want?
Start at verse.
Okay, there it is.
Right there.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 7.
Right to the point.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
Don't wait to turn to the Lord. Go ahead.
And put not all from day to day.
Nah, I'll do it. I'm going to get right tomorrow.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
Suddenly the wrath of the Lord shall come forth. All right.
And in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
In the day of vengeance. And the day of vengeance can come for you any day.
Right.
The day of vengeance ain't just one particular day. It's any given day. Judgment is going forth in the earth. Niggas are getting dropping like flies out here. All right? Niggas are dropping like flies, and you could be next. All right? So don't wait. Don't tarry. Don't, you know what I mean, hokey pokey around coming to the Lord. All right? What you got?
The book of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Verse 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
You see? Listen, Moses was sitting fat, living up in Pharaoh's house. All right? Living in the land of Egypt. All right? You got all this gold. You got servants. All right? You got beautiful women walking around. he was living in a lap of luxury, but he rather do what? Suffer with his people, right? See, we live in a day and age where we got the exact opposite. We got a bunch of niggas that will sell out their people just so they can get some crumbs from Master's table, get some crumbs from Esau, all right? Not knowing, all right, that when all is said and done, all right, who you trying to get the crumbs from is going to be getting crumbs from your table. You see? And you're going to be the least in the kingdom in that day. We got to have more, we need more people like Moses. Go ahead.
I got a precept. This is Matthew 16 and 24. Then said Yahweh shall unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross.
Take up his cross. Go ahead.
And follow me. Verse 25. For whosoever will save his life,
whoever shall save his life
shall lose it.
Shall lose it. Go ahead.
And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Verse 26. For what is a man's profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
You see that? Now you got a lot of these brothers in the sports world or in the entertainment. They know that they're Israelites, but they not gonna get jiggy with this. Right? They rather gain riches in this world rather than store the spiritual treasures in heaven. You see?
I got for that too. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
Wisdom is a defense primarily. Go ahead.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
That is a beautiful precept. The scriptures say, riches profit not in the day of wrath. All right, your silver and your gold, all right, your Federal Reserve notes, all right, ain't gonna save you when martial law troops are busting up in your $3 million mansion. All right, dragging you and your children out, taking you to a FEMA camp. All right, because again, you look at all these post-apocalyptic movies. Look at what's the Iron Legend. What were they doing? Scanning people, their retinas. All right, to see if they had the measles and whatnot. See if they had whatever virus. They're gonna be doing that. They really gonna be doing that in America in real life, right? They find out that you got whatever disease. They dragging your ass, taking you to a Walmart that's turned into a FEMA camp, injecting your ass with a chip, and now you done. But again, while you had yet liberty, all right, get the what's that? Get that Second Ezra 9. While you yet had liberty, right, while you had the time to truly come into this thing, to truly do the work of Yahweh Shai, you rejected it. All right, when you really had when the door of repentance was open, all right, you didn't walk through. All right, you turned your back on the Lord. Right.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 9. Then shall they be in a pitiful case.
You're going to be in a pitiful case in that time. Go ahead.
Which now have abused my ways. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
In torment. Go ahead.
Verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me.
See, there's a lot of rich Israelites, all right, here in America, all right, shucking and jiving, dropping 40 points, putting baskets in holes, and scoring touchdowns, all right, getting a big bag, right?
And the Lord powerful. He said, for those who receive benefits.
Receive benefits. Oh, listen, nigga, you just a high-paid slave at the end of the day, but you got some benefits. Go ahead.
And have not known me.
But you don't know the Lord. You don't know the Lord. Not knowing the Lord is a fearful thing. All right. The Most High taking His Spirit away from you is a pitiful thing. Not knowing who you are is a terrible thing. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold?
Go ahead.
And to get understanding, rather to be chosen than silver.
You see that? It's better to have all the wisdom and knowledge and understanding than to have these riches. Go back to the Second Ezra.
Keep going after 10.
Yeah.
Verse 11. And they that have loathed my law.
That have loathed my law. Because niggas hate. When you tell a nigga that he got to keep 613 laws, like, oh, we can't keep 613 laws. But yet you keep thousands of laws that America tells you to keep, right? Niggas hate the law. They hate the word of God. Go ahead.
And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty.
You yet had liberty, all right? You have liberty to come into this truth, to come into your truth, who you are and whose you are, all right? And do what's required of you as a child of God. Go ahead.
And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them.
See, we're under that grace period, all right? The grace period, all right, is a time for you to repent, to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, come back to your power. When you yet had liberty in a place of repentance, go ahead.
A place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Verse 12, the same must know it after death.
After what?
After death.
After death, go ahead.
By pain.
By pain. A lot of you niggas are going to die grievous deaths. By pain. Go ahead.
All right, Khan, this is Jeremiah just laying back on the precept in Matthew 16. This is Jeremiah 17. Oh, damn, I just had it. Oh, yeah, Jeremiah 17:13. It says, O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed. And they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. And then on a carnal aspect, on a carnal aspect, when you go to Hollywood, the walk of what's that called again? The walk of fame. Yeah. You see what Jake names written in the earth, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Cause 2/3 care about earthly things, man.
Yeah. Con.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Right, right out.
This is basically piggybacking off of the wealthy people who know they're Israelites but still choose a different like a religion. Like you see the rich guys like Meek Mills, they got the Ankh around their neck and tattoo Ankhs on their bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah, nigga like J. Cole.
Exactly.
He don't want to come into the truth because his mom is an Edomite and stupid stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nas too. Cause when you listen to Nas early albums, he was saying that he was an Israelite.
Yeah.
Now he's Kemet.
Right. Yeah. Stupid nigga.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have the zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. So y'all can claim that y'all know what's going on, but to that day, when that day of wrath come, you will understand what's up.
Yeah. You haven't submitted yourself to the righteousness. And what is righteousness? The law.
Exactly.
All right. Someone get Second Chronicles 16 and 15. It's a lot.
I'm gonna bring this out. This book of Joshua.
Yeah, bring it out.
1 and 8.
Yeah, bring that out.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
See, that's your job as an Israelite. The book of the law shall not depart from out thy mouth. We're supposed to be teaching to our children. We're supposed to write it on our doorposts. All right. The Lord told us to wear fringes so we can remember it. Like we're supposed to be doing this thing. All right. Go ahead.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
Day and night.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
See, but Jake wants to bisect. All right, and skip over doing all that and wants to get good success. All right.
Yeah, you want to know? Jake want their birth right now.
Yeah, instant gratification. All right, this is not the land of our rest. All right, you're not gonna have true success here in Babylon the Great. You're just not. All right, this is the land of our captivity. All right, we're subject unto payments. Even if you get in, the quote unquote bag. All right, you're still a slave. All right, they can cut you off at any given point in time. All right. We'll bring out the Second Chronicles 15.
6 and 15?
15 and verse 13.
15, It's the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 15 and verse 13. That whosoever would not seek the Lord God of Israel shall be put to death.
Shall be put to death.
Whether small or great.
Whether small or great.
Whether man or woman.
Man, listen, niggas, women, all right, they going to be getting it. Go ahead.
Keep going. And they swear to the Lord with a loud voice and with shouting.
Oh, yeah, that's it on that, right? So, small or great, whether you rich, poor, male, or female. Someone get Ezekiel 9 and 4. All right? Whether you are old, whether you're young, it don't matter. Go ahead.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4. And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry.
Lord willing, we are receiving that spiritual mark. All right, that exemption from judgment. All right, from the Most High God. Go ahead.
For all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
There's nothing but abominable things going on here in Babylon. All right. And brothers have been sighing, crying for a long time. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite.
And smite.
Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Verse 6. Slay utterly old and young.
Old and young. Grandma can get it. All right. Little baby Rico can get it. Go ahead.
Both maids and little children.
Young women and children. Go ahead.
Maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And being at my sanctuary, then they begun at the ancient men which were before the house.
You see that? So he said, begin at my sanctuary. The Lord says, listen, man. All right, that's why you see, start at my sanctuary. Start at my house. That's why you see niggas dropping like flies. All right? Literally, the top of the year. The Lord started 2020 with a bang. All right? Kobe Bryant. All right? Killed him and his daughter killed in a tragic accident. All right? Then a month later, all right, a young, because Kobe's great, right? He's a little older, right? His daughter got killed, young or older, don't matter. Then you got a young brother in the Pop Smoke, 20 years old, he gets popped.
Before that, Juice WRLD.
Yep, Juice WRLD just last year, all right? So forth and so forth. We see all of this stuff happening. All right, the Lord, it says, start at my sanctuary. So, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, if you don't get right, the Lord is going to kill you. All right, and he's justified in doing so, because our people are just wicked, man. They love to do just utter abominations. All right, a nigga is wise to do evil, but when it comes to doing the truth, when it comes to what's right, a nigga don't know nothing. All right, you got precept?
No, I was looking for life is but a twinkle. I know it's in Timothy.
You got something out? But with that, we're going to say, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Katam to Allah Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters who diligently seeking the Most High in these last days. All right, we pray that you brothers and sisters will edify. Until next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.